Everyone in Ogrimmar saw Winter's Veil as a time to unwind. But a goblin, who was new to the Horde, had something else in mind.
"A heist,"
he said with a snarl and a sneer.
"Why steal from some tomb when there's plenty of suckers here?"
So, without hesitation, he began to work.
"A costume will be needed,"
he said with a smirk. The hat was too big, and the shirt was too tight, but he was satisfied with his work, and took off into the night. Place by place, he snuck in and he snuck out. Clumsily, yet effectively, he hit every mark on his route. But I should give the goblin his due. His plan was rather clever.
"Instead of gold, I will take only knickknacks, which will not be missed."
No, not ever.
"My sack may be almost full, but I still have time to hit the inn."
Some would say that he was pushing his luck, but such is the nature of a goblin. Silently, he slunk, with special care not to disturb the boards. Then he saw his mark.
"Oh, I have to have them swords."
A sound startled him as he pulled back from the shelf. He spun around to see, in his words,
"One super fine elf."
"What are you doing?"
the superfine elf said with a growl. Her appearance was a vision of beauty, except for the scowl. The goblin began to panic. He had been caught, and something told him the superfine elf could not be bought. The truth would not work, so he came up with a lie. Even if she didn't buy it, it was at least worth a try.
"Why, you see, I am Great Father Winter, and I did not mean to alarm. I have no weapons, my dear, and I mean you no harm."
Then suddenly, her hand erupted in fire.
I think not.
She said, calling out the liar. The fireball shot true as she let out a yawn. But when the smoke cleared, the goblin was gone? He had escaped through the window and into a bush. The only injury to be found, a slightly singed tush. The night was almost over, and he had gotten quite the haul. But one dilemma remained.
Now to stash it all.
He went to a place in the shade of a ridge. The sly little crook was at the orphanage. He hid his haul in their stockings and under their beds, on top of their covers, and next to their heads. The sly little goblin took the cookies and then left just as fast as he came. His only regret of the evening was the superfine elf, and not being able to get her name. It was then that a wondrous sound came to his ear. It started off low, and then built into a cheer. He chuckled as he turned to leave, but then stopped himself. Standing in front of him, and looking rather upset, was the superfine elf.
Return what you stole,
she said as her voice grew low.
I'm sorry, but they have been delivered to my clients. Take a look below.
The orphans.
Indeed, and let's face it, their payment could not be beat. For every gift I delivered, they provided me with a sugary treat. But if you still want to hurt me, I won't stop you,
he said as he sat.
I gotta see kids smile on Winter's Veil, and it don't get much better than that.
I suppose that is as good a message as any to end our tale about the clever little goblin who stole Wintervale.
A 2, 3, 4. Bahu 4 is Dahu Dores. Welcome Winterfell, bring us cheer. Bahu 4 is Dahu Dores. Welcome Winterfell and a happy new year.